I'm an addict for sneakers.
What's good? Back up in the building. It's your boy DJ Delz back with a brand new sneaker podcast here at the Sneaker Addict Show. Before I start, make sure to hit that like button right now if you like listening to these podcasts. It just lets me know to keep doing them. And we got a good one today. We're going to talk about custom shoes. I have been wanting to do this podcast for a while, and I just kept putting it on the back burner. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about custom shoes and where it is at 2014 and everyone's opinion on it, because people have mixed opinions on what's going on lately. And I want to see what you, the viewers, you, the listeners, think about what's going on nowadays. And of course, I'll tell you what I think too. So me just looking back with customizers, when I first started appreciating the custom shoe, honestly, was when I seen Mosh do his customs. I seen people do it before him, and I thought it was cool, but his customs started not looking like customs. They started looking like product, not a painted shoe. And that's when I started appreciating customs. To this day, I still want to get me a pair of his shoes, and I will eventually, because he does great work, and I respect his work. I respect his art. I look at a good custom as a piece of art, and I really appreciate his work. And I think that what he did for other customizers is fantastic. He really broke new ground for a lot of customizers. And I noticed in the sneaker game, people sometimes don't like to pay homage to people that have paved the way. And I definitely think that he definitely paved the way for a lot of people that are doing pretty damn good right now for themselves. Not saying he's the only one that paved the way. Let's not get that twisted. But he definitely is one that opened a lot of new doors for a lot of people. And I think that he does great work. He does mostly painting. Maybe he does other stuff, but he always, he paints the shoes and whatnot. In 2014, where we are today, you see people that are reconstructing the whole damn shoe. And that's what I really wanted to speak about, is the people in 2014, even 2013. I mean, it's been going on. This ain't something new. With customizers taking apart a shoe, they'll get, for instance, Jordan 1. Take apart the whole upper, and then reconstruct the shoe with their own pieces and use like exotic animal skins and whatnot and reconstruct the shoe. Like, for instance, I actually was able to chop it up with Relevant Customs, who in my opinion is one of the best that I've ever seen, and I had the pleasure of seeing their work in person and actually talk to the guys. I actually did an episode over at youtube.com/The Sneaker Addict for people that are listening on iTunes. Make sure to check that out. Just search Relevant Customs DJ Delz, or search even DJ Delz Brooklyn Zoo Jay-Z. The episode will come up. And we go through a bunch of their customs and literally go through all the materials, and it's amazing work. The actual construction of the shoe is something really impressive. It's not done sloppy. It's not like they just cut out a bunch of different pieces to match up and slap it on and sew it. This is top-notch stuff right here. Very nice quality. I don't even know how much they charge for these shoes. I would love to own a pair of their shoes, but I mean, they're running a lot of money, I'm sure. I'm sure it's not going to be cheap. They showed some Jordan retros, a Yeezy that they reconstructed, which was pretty crazy, and a pair of shoes that I got into real details with was this pair of shoes that's going by the name of the Brooklyn Zoos that were for Jay-Z. And we literally went through the whole shoe, going through all the materials, breaking down all the different animals. Each piece was basically a different animal. I mean, they were using all kinds of stuff, like elephant skin. It was kind of crazy. It actually offended a couple of people when I posted that episode. There were some people that were a little offended by that, but he was explaining in that episode too about that whole situation, which I think people weren't listening to. Maybe listen to that again if you're offended, and if you're still offended by it, I apologize. So I just want to put that out there because I never spoke about that, and I do care about people's feelings. Like, I don't want to offend people. But getting back to what I was saying with the actual custom, the actual shoe, the work, you have to respect the work. But it's not the original pieces. And that's what I want to speak about. That's the main focus. Because I noticed that a lot of people are doing this now. Like, it's more than just a handful of people that are reconstructing shoes now. There's a lot of people reconstructing shoes. They may not be doing it as good as the Relevant Custom guys, or there's other guys that are doing this too. I haven't seen any of their work except FBCC. He does customs. I was only able to see one shoe he did, the Freddy Krueger glove shoe that he basically reconstructed, which was a pretty interesting shoe. It looked pretty sick in person. I really loved that shoe. That shoe was really something else. And I have a Halloween special where I actually feature that you'll see coming up in a week or so, where I just show a bunch of different Halloween shoes. If you're listening to this way after Halloween or a week before, just look in the description box. I'll eventually have a link to that Halloween special when it goes up. But that shoe was reconstructed really nicely. And I know he does other kind of work, but I haven't seen it, so I can't judge his other work just on a photo and whatnot that I see on Instagram. But Relevant Customs, I mean, I was able to really see a bunch of their work. Not just one piece, but a whole bunch of their work. And you know Jay-Z ain't wearing no shoe that ain't on point. And I'll tell you, their work was just as good, or if not better, than what Jordan puts out, the actual construction. You wouldn't look at it and be like, hey, this is a replica. But there are people out there, I've noticed, that not necessarily saying about Relevant Customs, but saying with some other customs I'm seeing lately, there's been a little bit of a debate in comment boxes saying that these are replicas now. You got yourself high quality replicas because they're switching out the original materials with not official materials, exotic materials. And I'm just curious to see everyone's take on that. Do you consider these shoes replicas now because of the fact that they are not using the official Jordan materials, the official Nike materials, the official whatever brand they're using materials? Curious to see everyone's opinion on it, because they're literally replacing each piece of the upper with new materials. My take on it is it's definitely not an official sneaker by the actual brand, but it's amazing work. That's my take on it. I mean, when I seen the Yeezy 2 and they replaced the leather with the actual real python, I'm pretty sure it was, that was insane. Like, they replaced what was supposed to be with the real thing. I own all the Yeezy 2s. I was impressed by that. I was impressed by it. I was like, wow, this is something amazing right here. So my take on it is, I'm not even really looking that deep into things. I think the problem sometimes is people look too deep into sneakers. They're just sneakers. It's just materials, and you throw them on your damn feet. I think some people look too deep into this and not realize what it is. It's just sneakers. But there's nothing wrong with calling the shoe a replica at the same time. I'm not saying that at all, because if you really think about it, it is kind of a replica. They're replacing the original upper with their own pieces. You're now making an original into a replica. The only thing original on the shoe is the sole. So there's nothing wrong with calling it a replica. And some people get offended by when people call something a replica. And I think that's because they connect the word replica to fakes, the Fugazi shoes out there. The actual word replica, they connect that word in the sneaker world to fake Fugazi shoes. With people that are into actual replica shoes, like, you know, the Fugazis, people call them replicas. They don't really call fake shoes as much. Unless you're speaking negative about it, then you're like, oh, those are fake. But people that have respect for the fake shoes, they tend to call them replica, I noticed. Now keep in mind, I'm going to throw this little disclaimer while I'm speaking. I have no problem with people that are into that. I'm very open to whatever you like to wear. All I care about is what I like wearing, because that's all I should really care about at the end of the day, is me and what I'm wearing. I shouldn't really care about what another person's wearing on their body, especially another dude. That's just, hey, yo. So just putting that out there. I'm not anti people that wear reps, that even review reps. I'm not anti any of that. As long as you're cool in person, as long as you're a good person, cool person, we're cool. I don't ever judge someone on how they look. If you smell bad, stay the hell away from me though. I don't care how cool you are. But all jokes aside, I don't judge people by what they wear on their feet. If you judge someone on what they're wearing, that means you're an asshole. I mean, there's no other way of saying it. If you judge someone on what they look like, you're an asshole. That's pretty ignorant of yourself too. And I'm far from that. So I never judge a person on, you know, what they wear and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm not into replicas. I want the real official shoe. That's what I like. Something like these customs, like a relevant custom, for instance. If I could ever get a relevant custom, that would be sick. Like, I would love to own a relevant custom. Some of them are just so amazing. And I appreciate the craftsmanship, and the look is phenomenal. I mean, I've seen a bunch of them. If you see the review that I did on a bunch of their shoes, you can be like blown away. I will put a link in the description box below to check that episode out if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on iTunes, just go to youtube.com/The Sneaker Addict and search DJ Delz Jay-Z, and it'll come up. You should be able to check that out. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there for people that are listening that are into replicas. I don't want to offend anyone because I'm not here to offend. I'm not here for that. I'm here to entertain people. And that's the farthest thing I want to do, is offend people. Getting back to what I was saying, I think that some customizers, they're not fans of their custom shoes being called replicas because some people look at that word in a negative light because they're compared to fake bootleg shoes instead of them putting something together as a piece of art. And I think that word in the sneaker community, sneaker culture, is offensive to some, the word replica. And I don't think customizers like that word replica when it comes to their custom work. If you're a customizer, leave your comment in the box too about that word. Does that offend you if someone calls your shoe that you may have replaced parts of? Do you get offended if someone calls that a replica? Curious to hear your opinion. In my opinion, I think the only reason why you would be offended is because you think of the word replica, you think fake. The language, the words, they kind of connect with, I would say, 60% of people in the sneaker community. There is a difference, those two words to people, but I would say probably, in my opinion, about 60-70% of people, there's no difference between the word replica and fake. And either or, whatever your opinion is, that's your opinion. Leave your opinion in the comment box. But we're not done yet. We're going to even keep it going. We're going to talk about these shoes right here that I'm seeing all over the internet. Even celebrities are posting this. And to me, I think it's really interesting. The Air Jordan 4 Hender scheme. This is what I'm seeing on the internet now. All over the internet on my Instagram. People keep posting this. These shoes look like terrible Air Jordan 4 Fugazis. Like the old fakes from back in the day where you could tell the difference from a mile away, like far away. These shoes, I don't care the quality of them. They look like fake Jordan 4s. I don't want fake Jordan 4s on my feet. I don't care if the quality's nice. Some are even saying it's high fashion. They look like some terrible fake Jordan 4s from back in the days. I don't care about the quality. For someone to like this and bash like a rebuilt like custom shoe or even bash a replica shoe is just blasphemy, in my opinion. It's like Stephen A. Smith blasphemy. For people that watch ESPN First Take, it's with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Blasphemous. I don't understand how you can like this shoe but shit on a custom that has a rebuilt upper or even a replica, because to me this is like really replica. I mean, this looks like a terrible fake shoe from back in the days, like that you would see, like horrible. Like, that's my opinion on them. For people that are curious about that, I think they look terrible. I don't understand how this shoe got a pass because it got nice quality. The midsole looks just disrespectful to like the shoe, like, and by the harness, like where that harness is, where the lace is, that's terrible. Like, art wise, maybe if it was like a piece of art or something, I could say cool, but I'm seeing celebrities post this like this is something cool, like they about to wear. I don't see this being anything but just nah, man. I don't even know what to say. It's nah, man. That ain't for me right there. So that's my opinion on that. Definitely a podcast I wanted to record. Hope you enjoyed this part of the podcast. Make sure to hit the like button if you did. Share this Facebook, Twitter, Google+. I'm sure there's people that would love to listen to this too that has no clue about this show. So please do that, and thank you very much for listening. We're going to continue on and speak about the releases for the weekend. Not much going on. We've got an Air Jordan 6 in preschool, toddler sizes, and grade school sizes in the Seahawks colorway, an Air Jordan 6. I think it's a nice shoe. I think that they could have put this out in men's. I think it would have done good. It's got that Seahawks kind of colorway. It's football season. Would have been a good look, I think. I think people would have copped in men's sizes. I did do a review on the preschool size because I have people that request that from time to time. Gives you an idea of the colorway. The GS model is a little different. Definitely better looking than the preschool. For people that saw the preschool review and is on the fence on the GS model, kind of hard to judge being that the sole is different and whatnot, the outsole. But just to give you an idea, that's why I reviewed it too, to help people out. I'll have information on my blog and on my Twitter, the Sneaker Addict Twitter, which is the Sneak Addict over at twitter.com. Make sure you're following that. Look in the description box below and I'll put that information to all my social networks. There also is a Foamposite releasing, kind of limited, but I think if you're on top of things in the morning on the internet, you should be able to get it at 8 a.m. sharp. Be on it. 7:59, be on it if you want it, because I heard it's kind of limited. So if you want these elephant print Foamposites, definitely be on it in the morning. I'll have a bunch of information on my blog, thesneakeraddict.com. And I will be tweeting information in the morning too. Go to thesneakeraddict.com 7:55 a.m. every single day for your heads up of what's going on as far as releases. And make sure you're following my Twitter, The Sneak Addict. Twitter.com/The Sneak Addict. I always post information on my Twitter that will definitely help you out, from restocks, release information, but a lot of restock information is always there. If I hear about it, spur of the moment, as soon as I hear about anything, it's always on Twitter. And I'm able to help out a lot of people weekly. I'm always helping people out. So make sure you're following that Twitter account. If you're on YouTube listening to this, I'll put a link in the description box. And if you're curious about the iTunes podcast, if you want to listen to these on iTunes, all you got to do is go to the iTunes store and search DJ Delz, the Sneaker Addict in the podcast section. And you could subscribe for free. It doesn't cost any money. So for people that are new to this, check it out. Because the podcast is different. It's audio. It's like theater of the mind, like you're listening to the radio. It's something I enjoy, I respect. At one point I didn't get it. But now I do get it. I totally get podcasts and I love them. I'm fans of other kind of podcasts. Like I listen to sports podcasts, all kinds of stuff. Like I love listening to podcasts. If I'm on the treadmill, because I'm trying to get in better shape. When I'm on the treadmill, I'm always listening to podcasts because it keeps my mind going while I'm exercising. I enjoy it. And two podcasts that I really enjoy listening to is the Don Tony and Kevin Castle Show, and also the Juan Epstein Show with DJ Cypher Sounds and Rosenberg. Just to put that out there. Shout out to them and all the great work they do, because I really enjoy them. Now, I'm going to address one more thing. I think about 4 or 5 days ago, Hess addressed this situation that's brewing with me and him again. We had a situation that was going on last year, and it faded away. Me and him used to be really cool, and unfortunately, the lack of communication ended up brewing into something, and then shit hit the fan for a little bit. But it eventually faded away, and unfortunately, because of a lack of communication, and then just a lot of assuming, shots were being taken, I think, and ended up being something. Not something serious, though. It wasn't beef. I know some of you guys like to use the word beef, internet beef. Listen, I'm from the 90s. I grew up in New York. Beef is serious. Beef is when we come and see you. Okay? Not we come and type at your Twitter. We come to you. That's what beef is. This is no beef. This is sneaker nonsense. This is disagreements over blogs or thoughts. Stuff like that. Has nothing to do with actual real beef. So for everyone that always says beef, that's not beef, man. Beef is real. Beef is real. That's not beef. That's just drama. That's stupid shit. And that's basically what this situation was. It was stupid shit. But after a while, it faded away. It's resurfaced, though. It's beginning to boil again. And me and him, we did the right thing this time. We actually communicated with each other, which we should have done in the first place. There should have been a round one. And people are trying to get a round two out of us. It's not happening. We've communicated. And I think as long as people communicate, things will be okay out there, man. A lot of times people have this stupid internet drama because of the fact that there's a lack of communication, and it ends up just being, some people got people's back and some people are literally on both sides, as I'm saying, trying to make something happen, create some drama for their own entertainment while they sit back and eat their popcorn. And me and him realized that, and we both talked recently, and we're not going to allow that to happen again. It's never going to happen again. There's not going to be no more drama. There should not have even been a public drama situation for the world to watch the first time. That was ridiculous. I started a series last year, and he recently started the same series, basically. I mean, it's a little different. I show him the shoes on feet and whatnot. He doesn't. But it's basically the same concept. Some people had my back. Some people had his back. I don't know how they could have his back when I did the series last year. Dates don't lie. But hey, it is what it is. I don't care that he has the series. Okay, I just want to publicly let people understand that. Maybe a few years ago it would have bothered me. Not anymore. Stuff like that don't bother me. And I don't even think he copied off of me too. Because if you look at the history of his channel, he's always acknowledged me in the past. Nike ID stuff. I remember his first or second Nike ID video. He was acknowledging me and my work with Nike ID. When he first realized you could really do all this kind of cool stuff on Nike ID, he was mentioning me and what I do. And then he did a lace swap video. Because I was talking about these shoes would look sick with a lace swap. And he agreed and showed love on his channel when he actually did it. I just don't see him just doing what people are assuming. I think he really, sincerely, just came up with the idea. And I'm not mad at him. I don't care even if he did copy me anymore. I don't care if anyone copies me. Damn well, do the bird's eye view if you want. But I don't even care no more, you know? I don't. Everyone have fun out there. Knock yourselves out. Have fun. I don't have no issue with this guy. And he has no issue with me from what he says. And I sincerely hope that, you know, in the future, it's going to stay peaceful and positive. You know what I mean? Shit, maybe one day there'll be a day you'll see me in Hess drinking a cold beer. You never know. Whatever the case may be, save the drama for your mama. There's no more drama going on with me and this dude. We're just trying to have fun and do our thing. He does his thing, I do mine. And that's it. I hope everyone enjoyed this podcast. And once again, all my social networks are in the description box below. Look in the description box below. Follow all my social networks. And if you like the music here at the end of these episodes, keep in mind they're for free. You could get the music for free. I've got so many people that are really supporting the music lately. It's crazy. I see it on Twitter. Even on Instagram, people are taking pictures of the artwork to some of their songs. Man, it's sick. Thank you for everyone that's supporting the music. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's dope that people are enjoying it because I'm just having fun. I'm not taking it seriously, and people are enjoying it. So that's what's up, man. I love entertaining people. You know, that's what I love doing. It's fun. That's why I still do this show, because I know people are enjoying it. So when I hear that I'm putting smiles on people's faces doing these podcasts, or even having fun messing around making some music, you know, it's dope. I love it. That's it for today's podcast. Leave your comments in the box. I spoke about a lot today. This is a nice podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Whew, I'm exhausted. It's a lot of work, man, just being by yourself, talking into a microphone. Well, I got Pequeño Juan in the building. Also, before I forget, I almost forgot. I got my Ferrari 14s for people that have been still trying to find me my pair size 9 or 9.5. Shout out to this dude, Lewis. I was able to score a pair from him. Some people always ask me, how come you don't just go for it? As soon as, you know, they sell out, go cop them from a reseller. I don't like to do that. I enjoy, you know, that part of the sneaker game where I try to maneuver and get the kicks for what I want to get them for, whether it's trade, which I like doing a lot of times, or it's copping them from someone for a decent price. Why rush it, you know? Why not just play the game a little bit? Part of the game sometimes is waiting, and they call it hunting, right? That's what we call it sometimes when you're hunting for kicks. Sometimes you gotta be patient when you're hunting. You don't just pull the trigger right away. You gotta wait. You gotta wait until it's the right moment. And then, BAM! But yeah, I got the Ferrari 14s. Thanks for everyone that's been trying to find them for me. The only sneaker I'm really looking for right now, honestly, is the Jeter ones. And I'm looking for Air Yeezy 1s, size 8.5 or 9. They could be even worn as long as they're not beat to hell. And also looking for the Lance Mountain Air Jordan 1s. I've been looking for those too. I keep forgetting to announce it on my Instagram, Twitter, all my social networks. I really, really want the Lance Mountain 1s. Prefer the black pair, but I will rock with the white pair if someone has them too. I am a huge fan of Lance Mountain from back in the days. Bones Brigade days. That's how far I go back. Search for Animal Chin. I had it on VHS when I was a little boy. I had Mike McGill's skateboard when I was a kid. That's how far I go back when it comes to that whole movement. I really want that Lance Mountain Air Jordan 1. Size 8.5, 9, or even 9.5. So if anyone has a pair, wants to do some kind of trade or wants to sell them to me, just hit me up, Twitter, Instagram, all that'll be in the description box below. And also, keep in mind, I put out a new episode almost every day. Catch up on all the reviews if you're bored. I'll put a playlist in the description box below. Recent episodes, I'll title it in the description box, and it'll be a playlist. It'll just play all the new episodes. Catch up on all the reviews. Catch up on everything I'm doing. Follow my social networks. Don't forget the sneakeraddict.com for your sneaker news. Thank you for watching. Leave your feedback on today's podcast, your thoughts on everything I was speaking about in the beginning of the episode. Everyone, have a great weekend out there and be safe, right? Thanks for listening, and we out.
50s, 20s, 100s, 50s, 20s, 100s, 50s, 20s, 100s, 50s.
DJ Delz, you know I love you.